Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video for my leaders, for the leaders on my team. I want to make sure, one of my goals this year was to make sure that I am being a better leader for my leaders on our team. And that was one of the main reasons why I decided to invest in doing the Art of Leading training mentorship. It's an online mentorship for a month. And so I just finished up lesson 2, heading into lesson 3, and I wanted to share my recap with you guys because I want to make sure that I am giving this great information to you guys as well, and encouraging you guys to do the same stuff that we're going to be trying to implement and move forward with as a team. So, Art of Leading. I know that there are a lot of times that we are frustrated as leaders because we're like, I see that these people have so much potential. Why don't they just do X, Y, Z? How come it's not connecting? I don't understand. I tell them, I give them this, I tell them that, I give it to, right? I hand it to them on a silver platter and it still doesn't happen. So this lesson was all about learning how to properly motivate other people. And that is a huge part of being a leader and helping to really have our teams rise up. So first thing, a major theme for all of this, the whole entire training that I've been going through, is that leadership starts with servanthood. Servant leadership. So we are serving them. If we are doing it to fulfill our own needs, it's probably either going to take a really long time or it's really not going to happen, because when we invite people onto our teams, we don't say, hey, do you want to join my team so you can make my biggest, wildest dreams come true? People would never join, right? We say, hey, I want to help you make your dreams come true. I want to pay it forward because of what I've experienced. I want to help you create your life by design, whatever it might be. I want to help you stay at home with your kids, whatever it might be. You are wanting to help them, and that's what you're putting out there. And sometimes what happens is we start to get it flipped around and we say, like, how can I get to this rank, or how can I get to this amount of money, or whatever. And then we focus on that and we don't put the focus back into our coaches and into our team. And we don't come at it as servanthood. We come at it as a selfish, me type of a thing, right? And so I want you to really make sure that you know that leadership starts with servanthood. That is the basis of leadership, is serving others. Right? Super important. So 2 quotes that I want to give to you guys. We can never use others to reach our goals. We have to help others to reach our goals. So in helping others, we will help ourselves, but we shouldn't be doing it for the sole purpose to help ourselves. Our intentions need to be that we truly want to help others, and that is what will help ourselves. And then also, you can have anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. I don't know who said those, but those 2 quotes were 2 quotes that he brought up. Great quotes, and I'm sure you've heard that last one especially. So one of the main reasons that people aren't excited like you is because you're using them to help reach your goals. So we always say, like, oh my gosh, this is such an amazing opportunity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. And then we say, how come they're not as excited as me? How come they don't get it? How come they don't have the passion? All that kind of stuff. Why? Well, a lot of times, because like what I said, we come back to it and we say we're so focused on our goals, we're not focused on our coach's goals. And so we're focused on we're kind of back in that selfish mode. Well, I want to hit 5-star. Well, I want to hit 10-star. Well, I want to do this and that. And yes, it is great to have goals, and you should have goals like that, and they should be written down, and you should be focused on them. But like I said, you really need to make sure that you are focused on serving. So have you asked your coaches what their goals are? Have you asked them since they first started? Like, have you recapped with them? Are you regularly chatting with them to see, okay, have things changed for you? Like, what are you looking for now? Because their goals and their why and all of that stuff will evolve and change as their life changes, as they're in the business longer and they start to actually grasp the idea of what is possible. All of that stuff, it will change over time. So you need to have that open communication with your coaches so that you know what their goals are. So your goal is to help them reach their goal, right? And that in turn will help you reach your goal. So we need to genuinely focus and love people, right? So I posted in our team page the video with the different animals for the personality types. And so majority of successful coaches in Beachbody are rhinos, right? Because they just they shoot straight forward, they go after things and they don't stop and they don't pay attention to anything else. They're not really emotional and they just take action, right? And that is why. So they don't need anybody else kind of telling them what to do or anything. They just do. But the majority of coaches in Beachbody are golden retrievers, right? And they're the people who want, and again, there's a little bit of all of these in all of us. So like not that rhinos necessarily don't have any sense of purpose like a golden retriever would, or that a golden retriever can't take action, but it's just what you primarily are, right? So golden retrievers are the ones that they are motivated by community and purpose. Being a part of something bigger than themselves, right? That is a huge motivator for golden retrievers. But rhinos are motivated by numbers. So when we are genuinely focused and loving other people, and we're focused on servanthood, and we're focused on serving our coaches, and the majority of them are golden retrievers, and say you're a rhino, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are. I know I am. I'm always focused on numbers. Okay, so what'd you hit? How many people did you talk to? What'd you do? Show me your stats. Da, 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 da. And yeah, that's great. But at the same time, the little change of the way we word things, bringing up a vision statement, for example, is going to be huge, because it's going to get the golden retrievers excited and involved as well, versus just the small percentage of people that are rhinos, right? So vision is the number one thing that brings everyone together. So if there's no vision, there's not a collective feel. And when you only talk about numbers, everyone doesn't feel a part of the team, right? There's people that are going to feel left out. I know that I need to work on this huge. And so I'm sure, because we often like attracts like, since I need to work on this, I'm sure you guys probably need to work on this too. So we need to work on it collectively moving forward together to become better. It's kind of like if you ever heard of the 5 love languages. When you talk with your spouse, you figure out that, oh my gosh, we don't necessarily speak the same love language. So one person might really feel loved when they have someone spending quality time with them, but the other person might really feel loved by words of affirmation. And so if the person who has the quality time is always just spending time with the one person who needs the words of affirmation, but they're never giving them that, the person who is the quality time is thinking that they're showing love because that's how they feel loved, but it's really not. So you have to know, it's the same thing. You have to know, okay, how is this person is this personality type. They are a golden retriever. So I need to respond to them in this kind of way. I need to put this out there and tweak how I'm saying this or how I'm going about it just a little bit to deliver it slightly different so that they are going to be just as stoked and excited about things as my numbers or my rhino people would initially be responding to me, right? So we don't take the time to work with the rest of the people. So like I said, 80% of the successful coaches in Beachbody are rhinos. 80% of the network are golden retrievers. And it's because we haven't worked on our language. We haven't worked on working with the different personality types. And if we would do that more, the different personality types would have that much more success. Right? So some things that are really great, for an example for golden retrievers, would be that team cups are great because they like to be a part, like I said, of something bigger than themselves, of a team. They like to work together. So that's just like an example of an idea that would be something great. So then now I want you to think, we're going to go into the next thing, 80-20 rule. I know you guys have probably heard of this before. I talk about this in nutrition all the time, about how 80% of the time you should be on point and 20% of the time that you can kind of, whatever, go off plan, cheat, whatever you want to call it. But it's different in business. So in business, 80% of your results come from 20% of your people. And I know that you guys know this. And I know that we've talked about this before, but we were just talking about it on the Diamond Call today, that we forget about this. We see potential in these people. We want to help them. And not to say that you're not going to, but you can't beat a dead horse. So you can do everything you can to help people, but if they're not coming and they're not meeting you halfway, like, you can't put into it more towards them and pursuing them than what they're willing to give in order to help themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you have to consistently remind yourself that, okay, am I focused on the people that are building my 20%? Because you know what? It's 20% of your team that is creating 80% of your volume, 80% of your revenue. And that is a very true statement in any business. So you need to focus on this 20% too. Often what happens is we tend to leave those people. Oh, they're doing great. Let them run. Just let them do their thing. But no, not that we're going to try and micromanage them or anything, but we need to make sure that we are trying to work with them, trying to mentor them and help them to be the best that they can be. Pay attention to them because they are the bread and butter of your business. They are the 20% that's making the 80%. And so don't just let them fly. Aim to see, like, how can we make them fly faster? How can I help them? What do they need from me? How can I aim to support them, right? So that's really important because you will have those people that just take off and they don't need a whole lot of coaching or help or anything from you. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't aim to mentor them, that you shouldn't aim to add value or serve them. Those are the people that you really want to be serving because they are creating the majority of your business. One of the reasons that you're struggling to motivate people is because you're focused on the 80%, not the 20%. So he gave an example of saying, like, oh, complaining, oh, I don't get any interaction on my page. It's only the same, like, 5 people who always comment. Well, how many people do you have on your page? Oh, I have 100 people on my page. I only have 5 people. Focus on those 5 people. Again, not to say that you're going to exclude everybody else, but focus on those people that want to do this. Don't try and drag everybody else along. You can reach out to them. You can extend a hand. You can give over the leaf of whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some silly analogy. But you can't drag them along. So focus on the 20% and focus on how motivated those people are and be excited about those people and be ready to, like, help them and serve them and add value into their lives. That is what's going to help you move forward. So you should be focused on them, not on, oh, well, woe is me. 95 of my people don't do anything. Be excited about the 5 people that are doing something, right? That's the exciting part. So you cannot have your eyes on the negative and be positive. Be happy that you have that 20%, that you have those people that want to do this with you, that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, that want to pay it forward. You have to be a motivated person as well in order to motivate. So are you truly leading by example? Are you motivating? Are you doing the work? Are you putting forth the effort? Are you sharing your successes? Are you sharing your struggles? Are you a motivated person? Because you're not going to have motivated people underneath you if you are not motivated yourself. You will build momentum over time. And it's the same thing on your team page. I felt the same exact way when I first started. We have 1,200 coaches on our team now. Not all of them are on our team page. I don't know why. But how many people engage and interact on our team page? Maybe 20 or 30 out of hundreds. Out of hundreds. So it seems like a lot now, but that's because it's been built up over the years. I remember when I first started, I was like, oh, no one's paying attention to what I'm doing. Wah. Don't be like me. No. Focus on the people that are paying attention. You will build up the momentum over time. Show up every day. Act like today's the best day it's ever going to be, and put that out there. And you've got to show up every day, even if no one else does. If no one else does, you got to act like you are performing in front of millions of people, even if there's just one person in your audience, right? So speed of the leader, speed of the pack. I know that you guys have heard that before. We've heard it a million times in this business, but it really is true. If you want people to recruit, you better be recruiting, right? If you want people to sell challenge packs, you better be selling challenge packs. And if you're not, then you better be doing a ton of personal development, listening to podcasts, researching what other top coaches are doing, learning, investing in trainings and stuff like that, setting up one-on-one phone calls with your mentors or people that are ahead of you in this business. You are taking the initiative to get better. So if you are not doing it, then you need to start by taking that initiative and aiming to get better in that situation, because that's what you would want your coaches to do, right? If they weren't performing, if they weren't recruiting, if they aren't selling challenge packs, then you would expect them to learn and grow and rise to the occasion. Yes? So you need to lead by example and do the same. What would you want your coaches to do, and how would you want them to perform? And that you need to make sure that you're doing that. So law of stewardship. If you take care of what you have, more will be given to you, right? If you don't, what you have will be taken away. That comes all the way back to the Bible, that it's just a very simple law, and it's a very true one. So you need to take care of what you have. Don't continually just seek out more and more new. Take care of the people that you have, and then continue to lead by example. If you have a small team, again, like I said, act like it's like 1,000 people. Prepare like it's 1,000 people. Give that one person or those few people everything you have. So when you put together a team call, give it everything you have, even if just one person views it. That is important to really make sure you're doing. Okay, so the next way to motivate people. Here's a couple different things, a couple little pops. Ask lots of questions. It's not our job to know everything, but we must ask questions to see what our coaches want from this business, right? To know why they're here. What's their why? Why do they want to do this? What on their fitness journey do they want to accomplish? What in their financial journey do they want to accomplish? Not everyone wants to leave their job. Most coaches, when they start out, this is a statistic that he gave, most coaches when they start out as discount coaches. The top coaches started as discount coaches. Not to say that you should go badger your discount coaches, but don't ever count anybody out, but you should be actively engaging with your coaches to see what they want out of this. You know, even your discount coaches, hey, discount coaches are usually in this for their fitness, right? So, hey, how's your fitness going? Are you hitting your goals? Like, what are you struggling with this month? How can I help you? All of that kind of stuff. Hey, let me send you a couple of awesome recipes that you mentioned from last time. I know you said you were struggling with coming up with some quick dinner ideas or whatever else. I saw these crock pot recipes and I was thinking of you. Again, you're adding value into your people, right? And that's something that you should be doing on a regular basis. So make sure that you're asking lots of questions. The more that you know, the more that you can help people, which is again, the law of stewardship, and it's that law of servanthood, right? That's what we really need to be doing as great leaders. So you also need to speak their language. We mentioned this earlier, but relate what you're talking about to the people that you have. So making sure that you're not just, like for me as, and I need to really work on this, but for me as a rhino, I'm always just talking about numbers. I have like no feelings. I just want to charge straight forward. I have no organization. I'm just a wild card. I fly by the seat of my pants. I just jump in and do whatever else. And I'm like, I don't know what I did. I don't know how to explain it to anybody else. I just did it. Just do it here. And so I need to make sure like 80% of people are not going to relate to that. And I don't want to just leave that part of my team behind. I want to be able to help them and motivate them and help them to move forward too in this business. And so I need to look at how I am approaching them and how I am saying different things within our team page to make sure that I'm including them and not excluding them by the way that I talk and the things that I say and what I always bring up, right? So the trouble is, yeah, we always tend to talk to everyone else in our own language versus theirs. Like I said, like the love languages that we talked about earlier. So also seek their advice, right? You need to get your team involved. And so this doesn't mean that you need a million chiefs in the house and no Indians or whatever, but leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. And so I do this when I have something coming up. I look to the people who are really truly showing great leadership skills, and I ask their opinion, and I come together with them to create new trainings and stuff like that. And so I value what they think because clearly they have a huge following, and so they know what they're talking about. So if we come together and brainstorm, it's going to be that much better than just me coming up with something on my own. So I often aim, this is one thing I actually do I think decently well, is I aim to seek out advice, and that's really important to get your team involved. Again, you don't need a million, but like think 5 people that you have as like your inner circle that you regularly would connect with and reach out to and say, hey, what do you think about this? And you bounce different ideas off of, hey, do you think that worked? Oh, that kind of bombed and sucked or whatever. And they're not going to be intimidated by you. They're not going to be afraid to tell you like it is and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to take their opinion, but that you value it and that you guys can actively have a grown-up conversation and talk back and forth about this kind of things, and make sure that you can help each other to move forward, right? Similar to like a success partner, but just not as involved with each other on such a regular basis all the time. This is more of like a every once in a while kind of a thing. But seek their advice. Then also mentor them one-on-one. So this is the highest form of motivation. And as leaders, we have limited time. We are busy. We are having jobs, having families, having different things that we have to take care of all throughout our lives. And so we can't be working 40 hours a week, or we're not, investing that much time into our business. So you need to be choosy with who you are spending your one-on-one time with. That being said, this is a really big thing. So the key players, your 20%, you are going to be willing to mentor them one-on-one. If they want a phone call with you, of course you're going to spend time with them. And if they're not seeking you out, I would encourage you to seek them out. Maybe they don't need any help right now, but hey, you just want to see how they're doing, what's going on in their business. You're just kind of keeping your hand on it to see how they're doing, what you can help with. Is there anything that they're thinking of right now? Maybe you guys can brainstorm something. Who knows? You just start to have a conversation, and sometimes things just pop up. I had a great conversation with a coach who said she was struggling a little bit, and she's definitely an up-and-coming leader. And we ended up totally diverting and going off talking about different ways to reach out in person and different ideas for gym owners and stuff like that, rather than just doing the social media and the online. And it was like gold. Did we plan to talk about that? No, but just in that conversation, we were going back and forth and learning things from each other and chatting about things and stuff like that. And that just came out of it, and it was a really great conversation. So when you're talking one-on-one with people, you're really investing time into them. Even if you don't have anything specific necessarily, it's great to just touch base every once in a while, like I said, with your big key players. The people who are flying on their own, remember, you need to come back and invest in them and aim to add value into them in some kind of way. So, you know, if they say that they're struggling with this, make sure that you can come in and add value into their life in some kind of way with whatever they're struggling with. Super important. So reach out to them, tell them, hey, I want to work with you. I want to help you. I'm really interested in to know like how you're doing and what's going on with you and all that kind of stuff. So really make sure that you're putting forth the effort of mentoring them one-on-one. And there's just the last thing, the survey of coaches. The survey asking them, okay, hey, you want to find out from your coaches. 1, where do you want to go with this business? 2, what are you struggling with the most? 3, what is the best way for me to keep you motivated? I posted this on the team page, by the way, the other day. We'll see who actually fills it out. And 4, what animal are you? And doing that every once in a while, I would suggest at least once a quarter. And seeing, you know, the people who are filling it out are going to be the people who you should probably be actively helping. And really seeing how things have changed, how things have progressed, what they need help with, because it's going to start to change over time. And if it's the same thing all the time, maybe you need to start sending them a couple of videos or trainings on the things that they're struggling with. You know, again, add value. It only takes you maybe 5 minutes to go through and look up some of that stuff because you have more knowledge. You've been in the business a little bit longer. You can easily find out this great coach's one video that you watched this one time and you share it with them or something. So that's super important. So those are some great ways for you guys to properly motivate your team. And the next week, we're going to go into learning more about who are going to be the people that you work with, who you want to really focus on, and how to choose them and how to pick and see who are the people. Because it's not just the people that are hitting a Success Club. It's not just the people that are like the rock stars in the numbers type of a thing, right? So I'm excited to share that with you as we move forward, and I hope that you get something out of this. If you wouldn't mind, I would love for you to post your takeaways and what you really would love to start focusing on moving forward as a team and for yourself individually. All right. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day.